Hi, welcome to A Foreigner in the Philippines. Well, we're going to have a chat with our friend Kevin. Kevin has been a long-time supporter of our channel, and it is in fact his company, Pukiko, is a management company, property management company in New Zealand. So he's a long traveller coming to see us, and actually sent and donated and financed our cement mixer, which was a huge help, and in fact helped to lay the concrete that we're doing this interview on. So Kevin, tell us what your plan has been. You've been here for
3 months.
3 months.
Yes.
That was the intention to.
Yes.
Yeah. So tell us what your impressions are.
Well, probably I should tell you what I came to achieve. I came to, first of all, for the want of a better word, scrutinise you people.
Okay.
Because obviously, if my company is going to be involved with an organisation where funds are transferring and things, we need to be certain. As a responsible director of a company, I have to be certain that that money's being spent wisely, and that we're working with a reputable group of people. And I think I made it quite clear already on the site that I'm more than satisfied that we're working with a very reputable group of people. I see you people as the Robin Hoods of humanity in the Philippines. So that was the first thing I wanted to achieve. The second thing, of course, was I'd met Lynn online, and I wanted to get to know her and see whether we were able to share things in common and to what extent. And so I've achieved that. And the other thing, of course, was I wanted to see for myself the Philippines. And whilst I've only seen relatively small amounts of it, because it's such a vast place.
Yeah, you've been on the
whole.
Really,
I was in Manila for a week, and I was quite happy to leave Manila. It's just too fast for me, and I didn't really see anything that interested me terribly, because it was just too fast. But when I got to Bohol, that was another story. And of course, as you probably know, I've travelled around Bohol and had a taste of the food, the wine,
in the province,
people, and the countryside, and absolutely lovely to come here. It reminds me in so many ways of the farming areas as a young fellow that I grew up in. So yeah, it brings back a lot of sort of memories.
Yeah.
But it's such a nice place out here, and many of the other places. There are some beautiful places in the Philippines that I've been to and had the privilege of looking at. And so that was the third thing I set out. So of all the three things that I really set out to achieve, I've done that. I suppose the fourth thing, of course, part and parcel of those three things, was to meet the people. I've employed Filipinos at home, and always found them to be a very, very special type of people. And I really haven't been disappointed since I've been here. They're probably no different. I'd have to be honest and say that as a Westerner, I struggle with the fact that I've been indoctrinated with the Western ways from a child, and so I don't know any better. And of course, here in the Philippines, they are doing things quite differently from there.
Well, it's a completely different infrastructure, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it's not something that you can come over with a Western mindset and fit in easily, because they don't have the facilities here, and that's one of the most difficult things to come to terms with as a Westerner.
Yeah. I think as an example of that is the little red truck. I mean, the diagnosis of what might be happening there would be far much easier for me if I had the means and the ways back home in New Zealand, but we don't.
Sure.
So I mean, I'm limited to what I can sort of diagnose. But I think anybody who's considering coming here from the Western countries has to realise that they need to be coming here to learn, not to change.
Not to change the Philippines.
If you've got the idea in your head that you're coming to the Philippines to change the Philippines and the ways of the Philippines, then quite frankly you might as well stay home.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to change the ways of the Philippines. That will happen in its own good time, if and when. You just have to accept that things are very differently done, and tongue in cheek, bite the bullet and go with the flow, no matter how frustrating it might be. That's just the way it is. But if you come here with the idea you're going to change things, it'll be even more frustrating. I didn't come here with the idea of changing anything. I came here with the idea of learning about things. And you know, quite a few people have said to me early on in the piece, you know, was I intending to come and live here? And my response to that really is, I have a mother she's close to 90, and she needs me at home while she's still with us. So there's no thoughts about going anywhere else other than being at home in New Zealand for her.
But you're
while
happy.
She's with us.
You're very happy in New Zealand anyway, aren't you?
Oh yes, I've got.
Culture.
I think that's the other thing that I've learned while being here is that if I thought we were hard done by at home in New Zealand, I need to think again, because you need to pinch yourself. You know, I mean, one of the things I saw a while ago was we were going down the highway towards from Ubai to Onion, I think it is, and we passed this fellow, quite an elderly gentleman, going down the road, and the one leg was okay. The other leg, he was actually carrying this leg, walking and carrying this leg, and with great difficulty. But I mean, like his mobility was just so limited. But there he was doing that, and here I am. I mean, I'm probably 1,000% more mobile than he is, and I grizzle and moan about it. You know, and so you see things like that, and it gives you a bit of a jolt and brings you back to reality. So things like that they say to you, you're very well off in New Zealand, and we are terribly well off. It's a lovely place. It's a place that is really the land of gold and honey in many respects.
Right. So what do you think of, you've been and stayed with us for quite a few days now, what do you think of our lavish lifestyle?
Oh, I'm quite impressed. I'm quite impressed. I mean, as I said before, it's not dissimilar to sort of how I grew up as a child and later on, when I was a farm cadet. I lived in areas like this. We live a lot better than you people do. You live such a humble life, and I guess that's why I get quite upset and frustrated when I read some of the comments that come in on our channel, because those people that make those remarks, they really have no idea whatsoever. And what I would say to those people is, you know, you have every right in the world and freedom of speech, but before you practice that freedom of speech, you really need to make yourself aware of the facts, and the only way you're going to make yourself aware of the facts completely is to come here and have a look for yourself. But no, I like your lifestyle. I think if somebody's really burnt out somewhere and needs a good rest away from it all, I couldn't think of a better place to come to. You know, and as long as you like to eat rice and the dish that goes with it, and you don't mind doing that every day, that's fine. I mean, you can do all sorts of things with rice if you've got an imagination. But yeah, I love it here. It's so much like what I was used to living in before I went, you know, left the land and went into town.
And what did you think, what was your impression when we took you around? It should be known now from past visitors that we actually never change our routine. What comes in to be done is what we do. The challenges that we face are the challenges that we would have faced if our visitors were not here. So you've been round and you've seen some of our projects, and you've actually been round and helped with some of them. So what was your impression?
Well, again, I'm just amazed at the work that you and Beth do, and as I think I said once before, you just never know what's around the next corner. Around every corner there's a new challenge for you. Someone's got a problem. I mean, yesterday was another example. Here we were at the blind man's birthday party, and there were people here down the other end of the pier who somehow or another had established that the foreigner in the Philippines was present, and they were trying to find him because they had some matter that they wanted some help with. So I mean, this is typical of what you encounter 24/7. And so yeah, the work that you've done on it, the houses are just amazing, and the fact that I've seen what those people lived in before they had their house. A pile of rubble in one case, and the blind man was an example. A house where, I mean, if people could imagine, rural people anyway, if they could imagine that you've got an old shack that's falling down on a dirt floor, which probably resembles something like being in the covered in sheep yards, but then it rains, the covered in sheep yards stay dry and they're still dusty. The old hut that those people live in doesn't. It fills up with water and then it's a bog hole, like a mob of cattle have been swirling in that paddock for weeks, and those people have to live in it, you know. So I mean, to be able to be moved and relocated from that into a nice little humble home like our Superman team built, it's absolutely amazing. I think what's even more amazing is the generosity of the people on the channel to keep funding these sorts of things, and I really do hope that, you know, you manage to get this Department of Social Welfare and Development thing wound up and sorted so that you can carry on with this good work, so these people can still benefit from it, because I think it's absolutely essential. There's nobody else, it seems as though there's nobody else in the Philippines really that are terribly interested in doing that sort of work.
No, there are people, but there are none that I know of in our area. So there's nothing.
So I can only speak again. I can only speak about the area because that's what I've seen. So I think every time there's a glitch, it's not you or I or Beth or your family or anybody else or the people at the Social Welfare Department or the bureaucracy or anything. It's not those people that are harmed in any way. The people that are harmed because something stops is the very people that need that help.
Yes.
And you know, I think that's the important thing.
Yeah, we have the funding because of the generosity of a friend who came and stayed with us, Brett, and we have the funding now to be able to build, we believe, 4 houses. Our frustration was that we felt that the Department of Social, the DSWD, could have worked with us, knowing that they have the number of our attorney. We've given a substantial deposit for the attorney to start work and complete, and it's in process, and we felt disappointed that the welfare of the people that we were going to help was not put first, rather than adhering to a rule. But probably that was because the person that complained has made a lot of threats.
I think we've talked about this before, and I think, you know, I've said to you from my legal background that I can understand why that process has had to be adhered to. It's a shame, but nonetheless, due process is something that we've been given to follow because it can save a lot of, as your mother used to say, end in tears. And we don't want anything to end in tears. We want to see this happen and move forward. So if that's what it takes to do that, then so be it. It's frustrating, but so be it. But I just hope, and I'd have to say this, and I hope Mr. Smith's watching, I just hope, Mr. Smith, that you're feeling very pleased with yourself. Because you haven't hurt these people here. You haven't hurt anybody other than the people who really, really need the help. and the sort of people that we haven't seen you running to help. So you go and give yourself a pat on the back and have a cold beer and salute yourself, sir. But I have words for you and they're not able to be used on here. So may you be well,
It's a
Mr.
family
Smith.
channel.
Yeah. May you be well, Mr. Smith. That's what I think about that, Terence.
Yeah.
I feel quite badly about it. But,
Yeah.
but nonetheless, we've
Well,
been
we'll-
given that as part of the challenge, and we have to.
And we'll meet it.
Yeah.
And because we can complete the application, and because we have a track record of going on, soon to be going on 2 years of helping, and all of that is chronicled on video, we don't anticipate any difficulty in achieving our non-profit, non-stock, non-profit status. So I think that that's going to be a given. The DSWD is not opposing that in any way. In fact, they have assured us, and we believe them, that they will help us all they can. They just have a mandate, as they say, and they have to obey the rules. And like Kevin has said, we do understand. Now, Kevin, you're speaking from a legal background because you're actually a justice of the peace and sit on the bench.
It doesn't suggest that justices of the peace actually really have to have a legal background. We judicial JPs, and I'm a judicial JP in training, and I was prior to my accident. So, and because of how that's affected me psychologically, I've taken time out because I don't want to affect people's lives by making the wrong decisions. But so, yes, we're nothing like a lawyer or a judge as far as our training is concerned. We are people who are selected from the community, by our community, as being, I guess, good common sense people who care about the community and the people. But I sat on the bench many times as a trainee doing traffic court and what we call depositions hearings, which that's the beginning of a case that's been brought to the court to decide whether it's worthy of going further to a district court or to a high court or wherever it may go. So, and I enjoy, well, up until I had my accident, I enjoyed doing that work. I do, of course, I do the other side of work. There's two types of justices of the peace in New Zealand. There's what they call a judicial JP, which is what I was training to be, and also a ministerial JP. And a ministerial JP is a person who is there purely to witness signatures and documents and do affirmations and all those sorts of things. And I mean, I've done a lot of that work. I have a lot of Filipino people who come to me in Rotorua, where I'm presently living because I go to rehab, Queen Elizabeth Hospital rehab, every day. And there seems to be a following to come and see me because I'm trusted.
Right.
And I'm going to get their paperwork right for them, and I'm not going to be judgmental of their paperwork and all those sorts of things. So, and it's a very fulfilling sort of a thing to do.
So you already have a connection with the Filipino people.
Yeah, from not just from the fact that I employed them prior to, but also that I'm still involved with them. My son's partner's a Filipino.
So what is a given is that your ethical standing must be above reproach to be able to do the work that you do. I
think, yeah, I was going to use the word sadly, that's right, but people might misinterpret that. You have to be beyond reproach.
Sure.
But unfortunately there's an expectation that you have to be actually purer than thou, which follows you wherever you go. And I mean, we are human. We are human, and as humans there is always something at some time or another that in the view of other people we're going to do wrong, and we may be judged by. But I take the view, so long as I can look in the mirror every night and feel that I'm looking at an honest man who's done his very best, that fits okay with me.
That's good. And you've also had a very what I call a life career. You've been a racing car driver. You've raced. So tell us about that.
Something I prefer not to talk a lot about because there's still a big lump in my heart about what happened to me in motorsport. But yeah, I raced side chairs, dirt racing side chairs at Speedway, and
so side chairs.
Yeah, they call them sidecars in a lot of other countries.
Oh, okay. Oh, so you did motorcycle?
Yeah, that's how I started out, and then I got into stock cars and saloon cars and things like that.
And you were that insane?
And rally cars.
You were the insane one that's...
I was a swinger.
Going back and forth, left to right?
Swinger. Yeah. And you know, I used to say to people, you haven't seen the country till you've been down there. So yeah, I've done that, but I was one of New Zealand's first farm cadets. So I did 5-year farm cadetship. I've done a lot of things. In 66 years, I've had a pretty busy time.
Right, so you did the motorcycle we'll call it sidecar. So you did the motorcycle sidecar racing, and then you went on to racing cars.
Stock cars and saloon cars and rally cars and hill climbs and yeah, all sorts of things like that.
So you did rally racing, that's on normal roads?
Yeah, hill climb racing and normal roads. Yeah, but closed obviously, they've been closed for the event. Yeah.
So cars and machines just generally have been a big part of your life, really.
Yeah, well, I grew up on a farm, so motorbikes, tractors, bulldozers, all sorts of things.
Well, I'm sorry that we didn't have the equipment to be able to work out what the hell is wrong with our little red, which is overheating.
Yes. Well, hopefully it's going to survive until you're able to find somebody that can get it sorted for you.
Well, I'll be going in.
Because if it doesn't, it's going to become a very expensive exercise.
Yeah, I'll be going in today, and we'll get it looked at today after I drop you off.
Yeah, that's one of the amazing things about the Philippines. Is as you say that is today's Sunday, and you'll be going in, and you'll find somebody that can help you. Try that in New Zealand, and you haven't got a showmate.
No, that's right.
Unless you're very lucky and you know somebody.
Well, Kevin, we have to wind up because we're going to be taking you in, and I expect you've got some packing to do.
Yes, no, I'm done. I'm on the truck.
No, but it's been a great pleasure to have you here.
Yeah, it's been an honour, really. Yeah, thank you.
Me too.
Yeah.
So this is the foreigner in the Philippines once again. It's always sad to say goodbye. That's it. Thanks for looking in. You can like, comment, subscribe. Please subscribe. It makes a huge difference if you subscribe, because if you've been sitting there and enjoying what we do, you know, don't be silent. You don't have to be silent. You won't be plagued with countless notifications. If you press on the bell, you will find out about our most recent video, which I think this is actually a very exciting time with a terrific amount happening. So you should be keeping in touch. So we're thanking Kevin very much for being with us, and we thank you for looking in and staying to the end. So, bye for now.
And in Maori from New Zealand, Te whānau haere rā.
Right. I was going to say that.
Oh dear.
Oh dear, it didn't record. Just joking.
We've got to do